What's the next one say? Now it has ... So it's not just the world's greatest human being, but the world's greatest something. Yes? You know, it's really interesting. How many people recognize that we play roles all the time? That's what we do. We play roles, yes? You're the father role, or the mother role, or the son role, or the daughter role. You're the friend role. You're the student role. You're the business role. You're the teacher role. You're the learner. Yes? Yes, all the time. And it's amazing, though, that when we imagine that we are someone else, we very often take on their traits and their strengths. Yes or yes? Do you remember playing dress up when you were young? You know, you dressed up and something, and you were that role, yes? Like, I remember with my daughter, we used to play, she was the princess, and I was, I guess, the prince or something. And I hope I wasn't the toad. But anyways, but you know, when she put on her cape and everything like that, she would be very princessy, right? She just wore the crown, she'd turn it. Remember that? Yes. Guys, yes? Yes, all right, anyways. So, when we, isn't it true that the very best actors in the world, they take on the role, they take on that role, they become that person. They own those traits, yes or no? And in fact, I was listening to an interview with Tom Cruise. You know who he is, yes? And he was saying, they were saying, you know, Tom, you're one of the greatest actors in the entire world. And what do you think is one of your reasons? He says, well, I not only study my roles, I live them. I am them. When I leave the set, I don't, when I'm in my trailer and things, I don't turn back into Tom Cruise. You know, if I'm playing the Mission Impossible character, I stay that. I am that. I live that. You know, I am that person. Does that make any sense? They said the same thing. He's very good with the friends with the, what's the kid's name who plays Spider-Man? What's his name? Toby, right? He said the same thing. So I was talking to Toby. He says, Toby's the same thing. He says, Toby doesn't like to say this, but when he's off set, he's still Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Because they become that. They own those traits. When you imagine and act yourself to be a certain, like you might act yourself to be like a real cool rapper, right? But then all of a sudden you start being a cool rapper. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. I guess a lot of you haven't done that yet. But okay, well, anyways. If you imagine yourself in the shower, have you ever imagined yourself to be a great opera singer or a great rock band singer? Yes or no? And you're standing there with the bar yourself going, yeah. I guess I'm the only one who does that too. Okay, well, anyways. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes? I'll give you an example. I used to play quite a bit more tennis than I do now, but I still play once in a while. And you know, even in my heyday of playing tennis, when I played fairly often, I was one of these tennis players that I got the message early on in my, from someone that if you want to win at tennis, don't make mistakes. That's the strategy, all right? So that's what, I'm one of these tennis players who, if I dink the ball around, okay? I don't hit hard, I just get balls back, right? You ever play with someone like that, right? And so people who are really good, and I've played really good players, and especially when I was playing, almost always I would win the game. And they hated playing with me, hated it. Because, they're smashing it on, just dinking it back, right? Dinking it back. And they get, they smash, get frustrated, hit into the net, they hit out, right? And they get more frustrated, and I just win. Even my good friends, I'd say, hey, you want to play next week? No. You sure? I mean, well, no. I don't ever want to play with you again. You ruined my game, all right? You're my best friend. Okay, anyways. So... but sometimes, however, and I could do pretty well, but sometimes, however, I would play against someone who was really good and smart, right? And, my second serve, my first serve is, pretty fair, but, it doesn't go in that much. So my second serve is like this. That, I'm not kidding. That's my second serve, right? It's like, right, just like that. And the good guys from before, they go wham right into the net. They go, ugh. But a smart guy, I go like this, and they go right there into the corner. Huh? Right there. It's like they hit like, and I go. And pretty soon I start to realize this person is smart. They're not going to make mistakes. You're not going to get a point here. Not 1 point in 6 games. You will get 0, okay? If you play this way. You cannot play this way with this person. So Harv dinks the ball. So I got to do something different. And what I normally do is then I turn around, start bouncing the ball, and I turn into Andre Agassi. Yeah, wave to Steffi over there. Okay. I come, I go, bam! Right? And they're going, whoa. Same thing. Bam! Bam! You know, some of the balls don't go in, of course, but I've got to play that way. But Harv can't play that way. Only Andre can play that way. I don't have a shot as Harv, but Andre gets some decent shots in. Does that make any sense? And I've got to keep on reminding every time I turn back to serve. I actually use a little anchor. This is Andre. He has a little earring here, so I hold my earring here, right? And I pretend I'm Andre, and I play 1,000 times better in that way. Does that make any sense? Does this stuff work, yes or yes? Yes. Absolutely. So here's the deal. Act as if you're the world's greatest at any activity that you're involved in. So, you know, if you're a manager, pretend, imagine, act as if you're the world's greatest manager. And you know what? You will start being one, yes or no? Act as if you're the world's greatest business person or negotiator. Act as if you're the world's greatest salesperson. Act as if you're the world's greatest climber or the world's greatest football player or the world's greatest swimmer, whatever you're doing. Act as if you're the world's greatest student, and you will become that. Act as if you're the world's greatest husband or the world's greatest wife or boyfriend or girlfriend. Act as if you're the world's greatest lover. You will have some serious stuff going on for you, okay? So, when you need strength, we need what? Strength. Act as if you are the world's greatest warrior. Very often, whatever I'm doing, I go, I am White Hawk the warrior. Nothing will stop me. And then I go and do it. You understand? Yes. No, it's a little troublesome in the shower. But anyways, stand up for the declaration. I am a warrior. I act as if I am the world's greatest. Again. I am a warrior. I act as if I'm the world's greatest. Again. I am a warrior. I act as if I'm the world's greatest. Ready? Oh, give us a high five and say, you are a warrior.